Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, life, like the seasons, is full of cycles. Each chapter carries its unique challenges, lessons, and blessings. Yet, just as winter must give way to spring, every cycle in our lives comes to an end. Recognizing the end of a cycle is not just about understanding change. It is about embracing it as a divine opportunity for growth and transformation. This awareness requires sensitivity to the subtle signals life offers. These signs may appear as quiet whispers in your spirit, a restless yearning for something new, or the closing of doors you once walked through confidently. To recognize the end of a cycle is to step into the wisdom of discernment, to trust that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Change often begins silently. It doesn't always announce itself with fanfare, but rather with subtle, almost imperceptible shifts. You might feel unsettled in places where you once found peace, or relationships that once nurtured you might feel strained or distant. Consider the story of a young woman named Clara, who worked tirelessly in a corporate job she thought was her dream. For years, she thrived on the fast-paced environment and ambitious goals. But gradually, Clara felt an emptiness she couldn't explain. Meetings felt repetitive, and promotions no longer brought her joy. At first, she dismissed these feelings, assuming she was simply tired. Yet the unease grew, and one day, she realized her season in that role was ending. Clara's story is a reminder that the end of a cycle often begins as a whisper in your spirit. That whisper is a call to reflection, to pause and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What is God trying to show me through these feelings? The end of a cycle is not a failure. It is a natural and necessary part of life's rhythm. Just as a tree must shed its leaves in autumn to prepare for new growth in spring, we too must let go of old chapters to make space for new ones. Endings are purposeful. They are a way for God to redirect us, to prepare us for greater opportunities, and to refine our character. When a cycle ends, it often signals that we have outgrown certain relationships, roles, or environments. This is not rejection. It is redirection. Think about the story of a butterfly. Before it can take flight, it must first endure the confinement of a cocoon. The caterpillar's life cycle must end so that the butterfly can emerge. The struggle within the cocoon is not a punishment. It is a preparation. Without it, the butterfly's wings would not be strong enough to fly. Recognizing the end of a cycle requires spiritual discernment and self-awareness. Here are some key signs that a cycle in your life may be coming to a close. Diminished joy and fulfillment. Tasks or relationships that once brought you happiness may now feel burdensome or draining. This shift is often a sign that God is preparing you for something new. Increased resistance. Doors that once opened easily may begin to close. Opportunities you pursued may feel blocked or unattainable. This is not a sign of failure, but an indication that God may be guiding you in a different direction. A restless spirit. You may feel an inner stirring, a sense that there is more for you beyond your current circumstances. This restlessness is a divine nudge to explore new possibilities. Sudden clarity. Sometimes, the end of a cycle is marked by an unexpected realization, a moment of clarity when you know it is time to move on. Unusual patterns. Pay attention to recurring themes or messages in your life. These could be conversations, dreams, or circumstances that align with the idea of change. Recognizing the end of a cycle requires trust. Trust in God's timing, trust in His purpose, and trust in yourself to follow His lead. Often, we resist endings because they disrupt our comfort zones. We cling to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves us, because the unknown feels intimidating. There is a story about a child holding onto a broken toy. Her father extends his hand, asking for the toy so he can replace it with something new and better. But the child hesitates, afraid that giving up the old toy will leave her with nothing. What she doesn't realize is that her father has already prepared the gift for her, but she must first let go. Like the child, we often resist letting go because we fear what lies ahead. Yet, God asks us to trust Him. He sees the bigger picture, and His plans for us are always for our good. Holding on to a cycle that has ended can lead to stagnation. It is like trying to wear clothes that no longer fit. They restrict your movement and make you uncomfortable. When we cling to the past, we close ourselves off to the blessings of the future. Consider the story of Abraham in Genesis. God called him to leave his homeland and go to a place he would show him. Abraham could have stayed where he was, surrounded by the familiar, but by trusting God and stepping into the unknown, Abraham became the father of nations. His willingness to embrace the end of one cycle allowed him to step into the promise of another. A question to reflect on. As you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? Where is God calling me to step out in faith and embrace the new? Endings can be painful, but they are also opportunities for transformation. When you recognize the end of a cycle, you position yourself to receive the new blessings God has prepared for you. Practical steps to embrace the end of a cycle. Reflect and journal. Spend time in quiet reflection or journaling. Write about what feels out of alignment in your life and what changes you sense God is leading you toward. Pray for discernment. Ask God to reveal His purpose in this season of transition. Pray for clarity, courage, and peace as you navigate the change. Seek wise counsel. Talk to trusted mentors, friends, or spiritual leaders who can provide perspective and encouragement. Take small steps. Begin to release the old by taking small, intentional steps toward the new. This could be decluttering your space, ending a toxic relationship, or exploring new opportunities. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, recognizing the end of a cycle is not a moment of despair but a moment of hope. It is an invitation to trust God's timing and to embrace the transformation He is orchestrating in your life. Every ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning. As you recognize the signs of change, remember that God's plans for you are good, and His purpose for your life is unfolding. In the next part, we will explore the lessons hidden in life's challenges and how pain, though difficult, becomes one of life's greatest teachers. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, pain is often seen as an unwelcome guest in our lives. It arrives uninvited, disrupts our plans, and leaves us questioning its purpose. Yet pain is not without meaning. When we look closer, we see that pain is not here to harm us but to teach us. It refines us, strengthens us, and prepares us for the next chapter of our journey. There's a saying, "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." Life storms, though uncomfortable, equip us with the resilience and wisdom we need to navigate the challenges ahead. Today, we will delve into how pain, despite its difficulty, serves as one of life's greatest teachers. Pain has a way of cutting through the noise of life, forcing us to pay attention to what truly matters. It disrupts our routines, challenges our perceptions, and often brings us face to face with truths we might otherwise ignore. Consider the story of a young athlete who suffered a career-threatening injury. For months, she struggled with frustration and doubt, questioning why such a setback had occurred. But during her recovery, she discovered a passion for coaching, which eventually led her to inspire a new generation of athletes. Her pain became the gateway to her purpose. Pain is not always the end of a story. Often, it is the beginning of a transformation. It pushes us to adapt, to reevaluate, and to discover strengths we never knew we had. Lessons hidden in pain. Pain teaches resilience. Resilience is not something we are born with, it is something we develop through adversity. Each challenge we face strengthens our ability to endure and overcome future obstacles. A man who lost everything in a business failure once shared this. "Losing my company felt like losing my identity. But it also taught me that I am more than my success or failure. I discovered that I could rebuild, not just my business, but myself." Resilience is the realization that we are capable of rising again, no matter how many times we fall. Pain reveals priorities. When we experience pain, it strips away the superficial and forces us to focus on what truly matters. Relationships, health, faith. These become the pillars that sustain us. A cancer survivor once said, "Before my diagnosis, I was too busy to notice the beauty of life. But pain has a way of waking you up. It taught me to value the little things. A smile, a sunrise, a moment with my loved ones. Pain has a way of bringing clarity to what is truly important." Pain cultivates empathy. Those who have endured pain often become more compassionate toward others. They understand suffering and are better equipped to offer support and encouragement. Think of a counselor who has walked through their own dark seasons. Their ability to connect with and uplift others is rooted in the empathy they developed through their own struggles. Pain equips us to be a source of comfort and strength for others. Pain is not something we choose, but it is something God allows for our growth. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble. Each strike of the hammer may seem harsh, but it is necessary to reveal the masterpiece within. The same is true for us. Pain chisels away at our fears, insecurities, and limitations, revealing the strength and beauty within us. It is a tool God uses to shape us into the people He created us to be. A farmer must break the soil before planting seeds. In the same way, pain prepares the ground of our hearts to receive the seeds of growth, wisdom, and purpose. Stories of transformation through pain. The potter and the clay. A potter once explained to a curious onlooker why he placed his clay creations into a fiery kiln. "The fire strengthens the clay," he said. "Without the heat, the vessel would crumble under pressure." Pain is like that fire. It tempers us, hardening us against the pressures of life while making us vessels fit for purpose. The broken bone. A young boy once broke his arm while playing. His parents were distraught, but the doctor reassured them, saying, "When the bone heals, it will be even stronger at the sight of the break." This is true of emotional and spiritual pain as well. The places where we are broken often become the strongest parts of us, if we allow the healing process to take place. The mountain climber. A seasoned mountain climber shared this. "Every step uphill burns your muscles and tests your lungs. But when you reach the summit, you realize that the pain was part of the journey. Without it, the view wouldn't mean as much." Pain deepens our appreciation for life's victories. It reminds us that the most rewarding experiences often require the greatest effort. How to embrace the lessons of pain. Shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift turns pain from an enemy into a teacher. Find meaning in the struggle. Reflect on how past challenges have shaped you. Recognize that pain often precedes growth. Lean on your faith. Trust that your pain is not in vain. It is part of a larger plan, one that you may not fully understand now but will one day see clearly. Reach out for support. Pain is not meant to be endured alone. Share your struggles with trusted friends, mentors, or a community of faith. Their support can help you navigate the journey. A question to reflect on. What has pain taught me about myself, my priorities, and my purpose? How can I use my experiences to grow and to help others? Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It may feel overwhelming in the moment, but it is shaping you, preparing you, and strengthening you for what lies ahead. When you embrace the lessons hidden in pain, you unlock the power of transformation. You become resilient, empathetic, and purposeful, ready to step into the next chapter of your journey. In the next part, we will explore the unmistakable signs of transformation and how to recognize when life is preparing you for something new. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, transformation is a sacred and inevitable part of life. It often arrives quietly, like the first light of dawn, or dramatically, like a sudden storm. Whether subtle or bold, the signs of transformation are invitations to step into a new version of yourself. They signal that life is moving you toward growth, purpose, and divine alignment. Yet, recognizing these signs requires sensitivity and awareness. Today, we'll explore how to identify the markers of transformation and how to embrace the changes that accompany them. Transformation often begins as a response to discomfort. What once felt stable and secure may start to feel confining. What used to bring joy may now seem hollow. These shifts are not punishments. They are divine nudges urging you to evolve. A caterpillar, for instance, cannot remain in its cocoon forever. When the time comes, it must undergo a profound change to become a butterfly. Though the process is intense and requires effort, the result is freedom and beauty. In the same way, you may find that certain aspects of your life, relationships, careers, habits, no longer align with who you are becoming. Transformation is calling you to release the old and make room for the new. Signs of transformation: a sense of discomfort or restlessness. Transformation often begins with a sense of unease. You may feel out of place in situations that once felt comfortable. This discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It's an indication that you're outgrowing your current circumstances. Story: a teacher named Marcus had worked at the same school for over a decade. He loved his students but began feeling restless. The once exciting lessons now felt routine. It wasn't until he received an opportunity to teach abroad that he realized his restlessness was preparing him for a broader impact. Reflection: is there an area in your life where you feel restless? Perhaps it's a sign that transformation is underway. The closing of doors. Sometimes transformation begins when certain opportunities, relationships, or situations come to an end. While these closures may feel like losses, they are often necessary to create space for new beginnings. Story: Emma was devastated when her company downsized and she lost her job. For weeks, she mourned what felt like a failure. However, this closed door pushed her to start her own business, a dream she had long postponed. Within a year, she realized the layoff was a blessing in disguise. Reflection: are there doors closing in your life? Trust that every ending is making room for something greater. The emergence of new opportunities. As old doors close, new ones begin to open. You may notice opportunities aligning in unexpected ways, as if the universe is conspiring to guide you toward your next chapter. Story: after losing her job, Emma received an out-of-the-blue invitation to join a networking event. That one meeting connected her with investors who believed in her vision, and her business was born. Reflection: pay attention to the opportunities around you. Are there new paths opening that you hadn't considered before? Shifts in relationships. Transformation often brings changes to your social circle. Some relationships may fade, while others deepen. This is not rejection, it's alignment. The people in your life reflect your growth, and as you transform, your circle may evolve. Story: Lisa noticed that her closest friends were no longer supportive of her dreams. While it was painful, she chose to seek out new connections with like-minded individuals. Over time, she surrounded herself with people who uplifted and inspired her. Reflection: are there relationships in your life that feel out of alignment? Embrace the natural evolution of your connections. A renewed sense of purpose. Transformation often clarifies your purpose. As you shed the old, you gain a clearer vision of what truly matters to you. Story: David spent years chasing financial success but felt unfulfilled. After a health scare, he reevaluated his priorities and realized his true passion was mentoring young entrepreneurs. This clarity reignited his sense of purpose and brought deeper meaning to his work. Reflection: what new insights or passions are emerging in your life? How can you align your actions with your purpose? How to embrace transformation. Acknowledge the shift. The first step in embracing transformation is to acknowledge that it's happening. Denial only prolongs discomfort. Instead, accept that change is a natural and necessary part of growth. Practical step: take time to journal your thoughts and feelings. Write about the areas of your life that feel in transition. Release what no longer serves you. Transformation often requires letting go of old patterns, beliefs, or attachments. While this can be challenging, it is an act of faith that clears the way for new blessings. Practical step: identify one habit, mindset, or relationship that is no longer serving your growth. Take a small step toward releasing it. Trust the process. Transformation can feel uncertain, but trust that every step is part of a greater plan. Just as a seed must be buried in darkness before it can grow, you may need to navigate uncertainty before you see the full picture. Practical step: repeat affirmations like, "I trust the process," or "I am being guided toward my highest good." Seek support. Transformation is not a solo journey. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Whether it's a mentor, friend, or community, their support can provide strength and perspective. Practical step: Join a group or community aligned with your values and goals. Celebrate small wins. Transformation is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate the small milestones along the way to stay motivated and inspired. Practical step. At the end of each week, reflect on one area where you've grown or progressed. A question to reflect on. As you reflect on your life, ask yourself, what changes am I noticing in my circumstances, relationships, or feelings? How can I embrace these shifts as part of my transformation? Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, transformation is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. The shifts in your life are divine signals guiding you toward growth and fulfillment. When you recognize these signs and respond with faith and courage, you step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. In the next part, we will explore the profound act of letting go, how releasing the old creates space for the new and prepares you for the blessings ahead. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, letting go is one of the most challenging yet transformative acts we can undertake. It requires courage, faith, and trust in the unknown. But letting go is not about loss. It is about creating space for what is meant to come. Imagine holding tightly to a handful of sand. The harder you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning the sand. It means opening your hand to hold it gently and allowing room for more. This is the essence of letting go, releasing what no longer serves you so that you can fully embrace the blessings ahead. Why letting go is essential. Growth requires space. Just as a plant cannot grow if it's confined to a pot that is too small, your growth requires space. Holding on to the old, whether it's a mindset, relationship, or situation, can restrict your ability to move forward. Story: a man named Elijah lived in the same small apartment for years. He loved the familiarity of it, but it became too cramped as his family grew. For months, he hesitated to leave, afraid of losing the memories tied to the space. When he finally moved into a larger home, he realized that letting go of the old allowed his family to thrive. Reflection: are you holding on to something that is limiting your growth? What would happen if you made room for something new? The weight of unnecessary baggage. Carrying unnecessary burdens can drain your energy and prevent you from embracing new opportunities. Letting go is not just about releasing physical things. It's about freeing yourself from emotional, mental, and spiritual baggage. Story: a traveler once packed everything he owned for a long journey. His heavy bags slowed him down, and he missed several opportunities along the way because he couldn't move fast enough. Eventually, he realized he didn't need half the things he was carrying. By lightening his load, he was able to move freely and enjoy the journey. Reflection: what unnecessary baggage, whether guilt, resentment, or fear, are you carrying? How can releasing it free you to move forward? Barriers to letting go. Fear of the unknown. One of the biggest reasons we resist letting go is the fear of what lies ahead. We cling to the familiar, even when it no longer serves us, because the unknown feels intimidating. Story: a young woman named Rachel stayed in an unfulfilling job for years, afraid she wouldn't find anything better. When she finally left, she discovered a career that aligned with her passions and values. Her fear had kept her in a place of stagnation, but letting go opened the door to fulfillment. Reflection: what fear is holding you back? How might faith in the future help you release it? Attachment to the past. Memories and emotions can tether us to the past, making it difficult to move forward. While it's natural to honor your history, clinging too tightly can prevent you from stepping into the present. Story: an artist named Leo struggled to part with old paintings he no longer felt proud of. One day, a mentor told him, "You're holding on to these pieces as if they're all you're capable of. Let them go and create something even better." That advice transformed Leo's approach, and his best work came after he released the old. Reflection: are you clinging to something from your past that no longer reflects who you are? How can you honor it while making room for the new? The illusion of control. Sometimes we hold on because we believe we can fix or change a situation. While effort and perseverance are valuable, there are times when surrender is the most powerful act of faith. Story: a woman named Anna tried to salvage a broken friendship for years, putting in effort that wasn't reciprocated. One day, she realized that holding on was causing her more pain than joy. Letting go allowed her to focus on relationships that uplifted her, and she finally found peace. Reflection: are you holding on to something you can't control? How might surrendering it bring freedom? How to let go. Practice gratitude for the old. Letting go doesn't mean rejecting or forgetting the past. Instead, it means honoring it for the role it played in your journey. Gratitude allows you to release with peace rather than regret. Practical step: write a list of things you're thankful for about what you're letting go. This could be lessons learned, experiences shared, or personal growth. Trust the timing. Letting go is not about rushing the process. It's about trusting that the right time will reveal itself. When you align with divine timing, the act of release becomes natural. Practical step: reflect on moments in your past when letting go led to something better. Use these memories to build trust in the process. Create space for the new. Physically, emotionally, or mentally, creating space is an act of faith that invites new blessings into your life. Practical step: declutter one area of your life, whether it's your home, your schedule, or your mindset. Let this act symbolize your willingness to make room for the new. Surround yourself with support. Letting go can feel isolating, but you don't have to do it alone. Seek out friends, mentors, or a community that encourages and uplifts you. Practical step: share your journey of letting go with someone you trust. Their perspective and encouragement can provide strength. There was a man named Samuel who loved an old oak tree in his yard. It had been there since he was a child, but over the years it began to rot. Samuel resisted cutting it down, clinging to the memories it represented. One day, a storm caused the tree to fall, and Samuel had no choice but to remove it. Months later, he noticed that the space left by the tree allowed sunlight to reach his garden, and new life began to grow where the shadow had once been. Samuel realized that letting go of the old tree had created space for something even more beautiful. Reflection questions: what is one thing I'm holding onto that no longer serves me? How can I practice gratitude as I release it? What new possibilities might emerge when I let go? Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, letting go is not about loss, it is about trust. It is about believing that what lies ahead is greater than what you leave behind. When you release what no longer serves you, you open your heart, mind, and spirit to the blessings God has prepared for you. Letting go is not the end. It is the beginning of something extraordinary. In the next part, we will explore the role of faith as the foundation for navigating life's transitions and embracing your divine purpose. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, faith is the foundation upon which we build our lives. It is the unseen force that gives us courage in uncertainty, hope in despair, and strength in weakness. Faith is not just belief, it is trust. It is trusting that the journey you are on, no matter how winding or difficult, is part of a greater plan. Imagine a ship in the middle of a storm. The waves crash, the wind howls, and visibility is poor. Yet, the captain continues forward, guided by the light of a distant lighthouse. Faith is your lighthouse. It doesn't eliminate the storm, but it ensures that you stay on course. Why faith is essential. Faith provides clarity in uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns. We often don't see the full picture or understand why certain things happen. Faith helps us navigate these uncertainties, trusting that there is a purpose even when we cannot see it. Story: a woman named Sarah faced a devastating job loss. For months, she questioned why this had happened. But as she leaned into her faith, she began to see the situation differently. The loss forced her to pursue a dream she had long ignored, starting her own business. Looking back, Sarah realized that what felt like an ending was actually a divine redirection. Reflection: when have you faced uncertainty, and how has faith helped you navigate it? Faith sustains you in difficult times. Life's storms can feel overwhelming, but faith serves as an anchor, keeps you grounded, reminding you that you are not alone and that this too shall pass. Story: a man named Jacob was diagnosed with a serious illness. During his treatment, he held on to the belief that his pain had a purpose. He began volunteering at a hospital, offering encouragement to others in similar situations. His faith gave him the strength to endure and turned his suffering into a source of hope for others. Reflection: how can you use your faith to turn a challenge into an opportunity for growth and service? Faith fuels action. Faith is not passive. It is active. It moves us to step forward, even when the path is unclear. It empowers us to make bold decisions, trusting that God is with us every step of the way. Story: a young man named Daniel wanted to start a nonprofit but lacked the resources. Despite his doubts, he took small steps of faith, researching, connecting with mentors, and sharing his vision. Over time, doors began to open. His faith in action turned his dream into reality. Reflection: what step of faith can you take today, even if the outcome is uncertain? Faith in everyday life. Faith is not just for life's big moments. It is for the small, everyday decisions that shape our character and direction. Here's how you can integrate faith into your daily life. Start your day with prayer or meditation. Begin each morning by grounding yourself in faith. Ask for guidance, strength, and clarity for the day ahead. Practice gratitude. Faith flourishes when we focus on what we have rather than what we lack. Take time each day to express gratitude for the blessings in your life. Lean on a community of believers. Surround yourself with people who share your values and encourage your faith journey. Together, you can uplift one another during difficult times. Trust the process. When challenges arise, remind yourself that they are part of a larger plan. Faith is about trusting the journey, even when the destination is unclear. Barriers to faith and how to overcome them. Doubt. Doubt is a natural part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to weaken your faith. Instead, let doubt inspire you to seek deeper understanding. Story: a woman named Maria doubted her ability to lead a project at work. She prayed for guidance and leaned into her faith, which gave her the confidence to move forward. Her success not only proved her abilities, but also strengthened her belief in herself and in God's plan. Practical step: when you feel doubt creeping in, pause and ask, what is one small action I can take in faith? Fear. Fear often paralyzes us, keeping us from pursuing our goals or stepping into new opportunities. Faith is the antidote to fear, reminding us that we are not alone. Story: a young artist named Leah was afraid to share her work, fearing rejection. One day, she decided to post a painting online with the caption, "This is my step of faith." To her surprise, the response was overwhelmingly positive, and opportunities began to flow. Practical step: when fear arises, counter it with action. Even a small step forward can build momentum and confidence. Impatience. Faith requires patience, but waiting can be difficult. We want immediate answers and results, yet God's timing is often different from our own. Story: a farmer plants seeds in the spring, but he cannot force them to grow overnight. He waters them, tends the soil, and waits patiently for the harvest. Faith is like that. It requires trust in the unseen and patience for the process. Practical step: practice mindfulness to stay present. Instead of focusing on what hasn't happened yet, celebrate the progress you've made. The rewards of faith. Peace of mind. Faith brings a sense of peace, even in the midst of chaos. It reminds us that we are held by a power greater than ourselves. Strength in adversity. Faith gives us the courage to face challenges head-on, knowing that we are never alone. A deeper sense of purpose. Faith aligns us with our higher calling, guiding us toward a life of meaning and fulfillment. There was a man named Peter who dreamed of opening a shelter for the homeless. He had no money, no connections, and no idea where to start. But he had faith. Every day he took one small step, writing his vision, talking to people, and sharing his story. Years later, his shelter became a reality. When asked how he achieved it, Peter simply said, "I didn't know how it would happen, but I trusted that if I walked in faith, the way would reveal itself." What area of my life requires more faith? How can I take a small step of faith today? What has faith already brought into my life that I can be grateful for? Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, faith is your anchor, your light, and your guide. It does not promise a life free of storms, but it ensures that you will never face them alone. Let faith inspire you to trust the process, to act boldly, and to embrace the journey with hope and courage. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of faith that sustains us through every challenge. Help us to trust in your plan, to walk boldly in your purpose, and to find peace in knowing that you are always with us. Strengthen our hearts and guide our steps as we move forward in faith. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Beloved believers, the chosen ones of God, as we come to the end of this message, I want to remind you that faith is not just something you carry, it's something you live. Every step you take in faith is a declaration of trust in God's plan and a commitment to fulfilling your purpose. Today, I invite you to reflect on your journey. What is God calling you to let go of? What step of faith is He asking you to take? Now is the time to act. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it with your faith. If this message has resonated with you, I encourage you to connect with a growing community of believers who are walking in faith and purpose. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Anointed, for inspiring messages, practical guidance, and stories of transformation. Backhand index pointing right. Like and share this message to bless someone who might need encouragement today. Backhand index pointing right. Comment below. What step of faith are you ready to take? Let us know. We'd love to pray and celebrate with you. As you step into the week ahead, may your faith be strong, your heart be steady, and your path be guided by His light. Remember, you are chosen for a purpose greater than you can imagine. Trust in His plan and walk boldly into the future He has prepared for you. God bless you always. Amen.